I think the reason we launched the four new brands was the market expectation based on our pipeline and also based on our growth as well. Because for us, it's really important that the brand values and the brand experiences and the brand the concepts actually really match and they don't overlap with each other. So the reason we launched the four brands is like two of the soft brands. We had to be on the mid-scale to select because there's a lot of demand coming through that as well. So we launched the I Stay on that. We launched the Kobe collection at the premium level, and then we have the Minor Reserve collection, which is also a white label soft brand, which where we have many owners who come to us and they would love to maintain their brand names, but they want the distribution and they want the entrepreneurial spirit of running some of their hotels and tapping into our resources as well. But so they are able to be part of that and to come into the Minor Reserve collection, which is the top brand. And then of course Wolseley it's something we planned since we acquired the Wolseley restaurants back in London in 2018, and our plan was always to launch a Wolseley hotel and also to go into Wolseley membership, to create a membership brand as well for the Wolsleys. So that's always been a canvas in terms of where we want to play, because I think for us it's really important that there is not too much of a brand presence in certain countries, because I think it's really important that we don't overlap and we don't really have too many of the same brand, where we will dilute some of our owners' returns. So we're always conscious, because even though Minor is today, like Minor started as more of a asset heavy, or like we call it asset right, but we're moving into asset light, because trying to maintain that balance. We've always had that owner mindset in terms of making returns for our owners and also giving the best guest experience for our guests as well, based on the brand values and based on the brand experiences and the delivery. So I think that's the reason we've launched these four brands. Yes, the last year was the highest number of signings we've had ever for Minor, 40 hotels. Actually, we should have hit about 50 towards the end of last year, but some have gone into Q1 of this year. This year, I think we've started in a very strong note. Like Q1, we should be signing about 25 hotels in Q1. So yes, to your question, I think our goal is that by the end of this year, we will surpass way above the 40 of what we signed last year. Branded residences today, for most of the investors, like, because of the land cost, the construction cost and everything else is moving upwards. So the only way that, you crystallize a project and make it totally viable is to add some of the mixed use concepts. It's not just branded residences. So you have a hotel, you have branded residences. You can have retail, you can have some timeshare, and you can have wellness. Wellness is another, it's a new, especially post-COVID, wellness has really taken off. If you look at the wellness industry today, there's over 8 trillion, being spent, which is the forecast for the next few years. So it's a huge industry. And I think coming from Thailand, we've pioneered the wellness thing. And, talk about branded residences. We were the first to do branded residences back in 2000, when some of our larger brands didn't even have branded residences and they couldn't do branded residences. So we had to spearhead that. We did the branded residences in some of our third-party hotels, which has been very successful. And we pretty much now taken that to our own brands. And now we offer it to our managed brands as well to launch branded residences. And sometimes, we are also looking at a standalone branded residences where we can support it with another hotel nearby in terms of giving that service and giving that luxury expectation what the guests really, really wants, so that the developers can get a much higher premium by branding them as one of our brands. I think we look at it different. Like we look at it to say, okay, if we can provide this amazing storytelling guest experience, you know, together with the use of technology, like, you know, so because today, like when you look at most of our guests at the high end, at the luxury sector, there is no price resistance. They are willing to pay as long as you give them the best, right? So I think, so if we can deliver that, you know, ADR has no ceiling, right? You can charge what you want. You know, this is one of the things we said yesterday, like, you know, things like, you know, when Taylor Swift goes to a certain country, she moves the needle of the growth of that country by a few percentage points. You know, when we had White Lotus in Thailand, you know, our rates, ADRs went up by 40%, and it's still sustainable. You know, so again, you know, my whole thing is like, it's not linked. It's basically, you give them the experience, you give them that unique selling point, you know, as to why they need to come to your hotel, and make it very localized, make it like, you know, culturally fit, and provide the wellness, provide the F&B experience, which is really important for the guests, you know, and provide the guest experience as well, together with the other guest activities which are localized, including some of the sustainability initiatives, you know, for the kids, and that's what they want to see. You know, it's a win. You know, then your ADR comes.